is Bones Bedi the ninth, and that boy is a 7-foot, 235 cornerback, and he is different. But Bones Bedi the ninth is known for laying that BAM all night. Being the youngest brother, all of the Bedi brothers had all picked on him, but now look at him. He's the biggest Bedi brother that's out, and his dad has always said, son, you are gifted. Just look at your size. But Bones Bedi the ninth has 0 offers going into his senior year. He has to prove these college coaches wrong. On it to Bones Bedi the ninth first game. Oh my God, what is he doing on the ground? He has to get back up and retaliate. Here you can see on the next play on 1st and 10, it was no fly zone going Bones Bedi the ninth way, but Derek Bedi Jr. played for IMG Academy, and Bones Bedi wanted to take the same route. When I tell you IMG win championships, they win championships. And as you can see, he lays a big tackle. But on 3rd and 9, he was sitting in man-to-man, but clamped it up and dropped the ball. Come on, Bones Bedi the ninth. But on 2nd and 12, oh my God, he will get that interception, and he sees that IMG end zone and dives for a 6, and he was fired up. But we're going to win the first ball game, and he is now a 1-star recruit and gets a couple interest offers from UNLV, San Jose State, and Nevada. On it to Bones Bedi the ninth. Next game against Hanford, just look at the athleticism as he go all the way across the field and make the tackle. But as you can see on 3rd and 6, he wasn't even in his zone, but he intercepted that ball. And as you can see, he will get loose. He might be 7 foot, but he got some speed to him. I mean, when I say he was fired up, that boy was turned up. But as you can see, going into the next play on 2nd and 1, I was sitting in there. Ow, that was supposed to be an interception, but he just didn't connect with the ball. But as you can see on 3rd and 1, he was sitting man-to-man again, but he let up and let the wide receiver catch the ball. We're having 0 offers. Bones Bedi the ninth, that's unacceptable, but we holded them to 3. I'm not gonna lie, that's good for the defense. But as you can see on 1st and 10, I was sitting in my zone again. This quarterback really tested Bones Bedi again. And this time I went up on this wide receiver. You're too small, buddy. But as you can see, he will take it and he will get tackled. But Bones Bedi creeped down. Oh my God, he almost had another interception, but he made sure to tackle him. But on 2nd and 4, guess what? He will have another interception and he breaks loose. No, he will not. He will get brought down. And Bones was fired up. Oh my God. But he will go on to get player of the game with 3 interceptions. And guess what? He picked up his first 2 offers. If Bones picked up his first 2 offers, he's fired. Bam! Up. Oh my God. He's coming out intense, and I promise you, y'all done turned that man up. Bones Bedi the ninth is going to turn up every game. And as you can see, he will get an interception. Turn around. Make sure to get that ball. They didn't lay the block for him, but he will get brought down. He said, yes, sir. This is my ball. But on 3rd and 4, as you can see, he comes down and boom! Bones Bedi the ninth is raised from a great family, and I mean, that was supposed to be an interception right there, but I mean, after being picked on by all of his brothers, I mean, all the anger he's taking out on this field, so you better watch out. But as you can see, oh my God, he got burned, and that's not like Bones Bedi the ninth. He has to get revenge, so they put him on special teams, and that boy bounced it out left side, and he could, and he would. Will he get gone? No, he will not. They will bring him down. But Bones went up to that wide receiver and said, you won't ever stand a chance, bam, against me again. I promise you won't burn me again. But on 2nd and 4, he let him get another catch, but bam, he's gonna make up for it every time. But on 3rd and 3, he's sitting a man-to-man, but guess what? He gets an interception and put it on his head top. He gets player of the game with 2 interceptions, and he gets a dream come true. Scholarship offer at cornerback from Hawaii. Bones Bedi the ninth is making a name for himself. After the last 3 games, they are talking about him on every social media site. They are saying he might just be the best Bedi to ever play the game of football. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the rumors are getting believable. I mean, just look at his height coming out of this boy is 7 foot 235 at cornerback. Why wouldn't he be the best Bedi to ever touch the game of football? But as you can see, bam, that's another big hit by Bones Bedi, and he absolutely gets stiff on him. But guess what? He put him on the 1-yard line. That's a way to sacrifice the football. But the quarterback comes in and scores the next play. But Bones in the game off with 5 total tackles. He's a 4-star now, and he picks up an offer from Stanford. That's amazing. On to our next game against 4-0 San Jose. They are undefeated, and it's time to take their first loss. But Bones Bedi the ninth let up a pretty big game, and that's unacceptable. But on 1st and 10, he went and got a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. But on 3rd and 5, as you can see, he was kind of not in his zone, but he came down and bam on that. That's how you flip somebody, baby. But on 1st and 10, he wasn't in his zone, but guess what? He almost had a one-hand interception. You got to bait him sometimes. But on 3rd and 8, as you can see, he comes down and lay a hit. Bones Bedi the ninth, don't worry, baby. That interception is coming. Bam! Oh my God. He almost hurt that kid right there. But on 1st and 10, he comes down and lay another big hit. He is not playing. No wonder his name is Bo. bounds. But he let up a touchdown, but he absolutely hit him in the end zone. But on 2nd and 4, he went and laid another tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And on 1st and 10, he will hawk this running back down and tackle him. But they go on to beat us. We take our first loss, and he ends the game off with 10 total tackles, but he gets an offer from Alabama, LSU, and Washington. Oh my God. Being that all his brothers had went to big SEC schools, you kind of seen this coming. Bones Bedi tonight, be ready for these offers to come in. On to our next game against 1-4 Carson. This running back had some nerve to stiff arm Bones Bedi tonight, and we let up 3 points to let them get the field goal. This game is gonna be different. But as you can see on 1st and 10, I told them, boys, you're not catching nothing else, and you're not getting any more points. But stand in my zone and boy, get that ball out of your hands. You don't deserve it. On to the next one. 1st and 10, this wide receiver ran the slowest route in history, and I let him catch it. Come on, Bones Bedi, the ninth. But as you can see, we were going to win another game, and Bones pick up another offer from Oregon Ducks. On to our next game against 0-6 La Pente. We are going to treat you guys as such, and Bones Bedi the ninth picks that ball off the first play of the game and got up and said, this is my ball, fellas. But on 1st and 10, he soon as that boy better drop that ball. He heard them footsteps. Boom! I'm like, oh, well, he didn't lay the boom. He kind of stumbled over himself and got a little too ahead of himself. But on 1st and 10, you know what? Boom! There it is. There goes that boom. And he got up and looked him down. That is disrespectful. On the next play, he had his own, but he blitzed and shoestring this running back. Yes, sir! But on 3rd and 17, he had his own. He wasn't in it, but he boomed him and made sure he got nowhere. But on 1st and 10, he came all the way across the field and laid a tackle on the running back. Look at that athleticism. But on 3rd and 4, they had a screenplay and ball. Bam! He wasn't going for it, fellas, but we still somehow, some way go on and lose the ball game. But Bones Bedi that ninth picks up an offer from Utah. On into round 1 of the playoffs, it's either win or go home. And Bones Bedi went and made a tackle, but they still got the first down. But on 3rd and goal, he blitzed and hit that quarterback. How did he get that pass off? That's unbelievable. That's some Patrick Mahomes stuff. But bam, he laid Bones Bedi the ninth out, and Bones didn't like that at all. But he wasn't in his zone, and what was Bones doing? It looks like he's trying to go home. Being in the playoffs, Bones Bedi tonight is on the big stage, so you can't mess up. These coaches will take those offers back, but on 1st and 10, he will go give me that. He will intercept that ball. Bones Bedi tonight, he will try to return it. Juke. Oh my God, he will get brought down. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this game, Bones was all over the field, but on 3rd and 7, he let up a big game, but he went and wrapped and rolled for the tackle. He got up fired up, so hopefully he's on his toes now, but he blitzing. Oh my God, that's how you get somebody behind for a tackle for loss. But on 3rd and 5, this wide receiver running deep, and Bones, what you gonna do? He will intercept that ball, and he will get brought down on sight. But he gets player of the game with 2 interceptions, and oh my God, Bones Bedi tonight picks up a dream come true offer from Georgia. On to our next game against 7-0 Roseville. These boys don't know what it feel like to take an L, so we gonna give it to him. And on 2nd and inches, Bones Bedi tonight run all the way across the field to make a tackle. And on 3rd and 4, he ran a route for this wide receiver, one-hand interception. And as you can see, we get back up that field, juke, break one tackle, and he will get brought down. But on 2nd and 10, as you can see, they have a read option, and Bones Bedi will catch him and bam him. Oh my God. But on 2nd and 10, he comes down hard and bams the quarterback. He's not playing. But on 4th and 6, they threw it his way again and almost had another interception. But Bones Bedi tonight is now a 5-star recruit. Ends the game off with 4 total tackles and gets an offer from Wisconsin. On to round 3 of the playoffs, we get our rematch against La Pente, and on 3rd and 5, they get a first down, but I bam him early on, and Bones Bedi made him fumble that ball. And he gets on and recovered and said, ha ha ha, is mine. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, he was sitting in man-to-man, but bam, he's not playing this game. He said he wants revenge. But on 1st and goal, he's sitting in his zone, and bam, this quarterback's gonna fill him every time. But on 3rd and goal, he's sitting in his zone again, and this quarterback got lucky. He ran in for a 6. But on 1st and 10, he's sitting in man-to-man, and he will wrap and roll this quarterback. But on 3rd and 4, he comes down real hot. I don't know what he was doing. The wide receiver is wide open. Bones Bedi the ninth, what are you doing? They go all the way for 6. Bones let his team down. We go on and lose in the playoffs, so our season is over. But Bones Bedi tonight picks up an offer from West Virginia, but now he is faced with the biggest decision of his life. Where is he gonna go? With Bones Bedi actually breaking almost every record in high school football, he picked up a ton of offers. Kinda doesn't want to follow his brother path and go to a big SEC, so he has committed to win. Wisconsin. And I mean, it is time to put them in the chance to win a national championship. And Bones Bedi IX is going for Heisman. Bones Bedi IX being named the #1 cornerback, I'm not gonna lie, all of his teammates are kinda hating on him, so he has to show out. But oh my God, just look at Bones. He intercepts that ball and he said, "Coach, yes sir, you got the best cornerback that came out of high school football, and I will be better than these seniors." Not gonna lie, everyone on social media was, "Oh my God, that's a one-hand interception." They were all talking about Bones Bedi IX because he didn't go to a big SEC. Bones wanted to show out at another team that's lower, and he wants to go get them a championship. But as you can see, he is running all the way across that field and bam! Oh my God. And when I say come out to practice intense, Bones is coming out very intense. I mean, if I was a senior, I would be hating on him too. That kid is a stud. But as you can see, look at him. He will intercept a ball again, and he is not playing in practice. I mean, it's only practice, Bones Bedi IX. It's not even the game. But coach said, good job practicing, and you're in no danger of losing that starting position. On into our first game, it's a rainy game. And Bones Bedi IX really don't like the rain, but he still has to come out and show out in his first game. And on 1st and 10, he gets a tackle, but they had a gain of too much. He got the first down. But on 2nd and 7, bam, that's how you lower your shoulder on somebody, Bones. But as you can see, on 1st and 10, he almost had his first interception, but he just couldn't locate the ball. But on 1st and 10, bam, oh, that wasn't a boom, but he still hit him hard. But on 2nd and 13, he comes down and bam, that's what I'm talking about, baby. You clean the clock every time. But on 3rd and 19, as you can see, he will locate No, he will not locate the ball. He will drop the ball. But as you can see, we still going to win the game. He ends the game off 7 total tackles. On to our next game against FCS East. They know better to throw it Bones Bedi way. You better throw that ball out of bounds because it would have got picked off. But on 3rd and 1, he comes over and lays a big hit on this running back. But on 1st and 10, they have a sweep play, and Bones Bedi could come across the field and lay another tackle. But on 2nd and 3, he's still kind of searching for his first interception. And will he catch it? Yes, he will. Yes, sir. Bones Bedi IX will. Oh my God, get out of the way. He will go all the way for 16. He dives because he's that man. But on 1st and goal, I'm not gonna lie, they drove down the field and scored on us, but they still lost. Bones in the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. Not a so good game, but he finally got his first interception. On to our next game against Arizona State. They are 1-0 and they have to take their first L. Boom, that's a way to throw him to that sideline. But Bones Bedi IX has to crank it up a notch if he wants to be Heisman. I mean, the stats that he had in the first 2 games is not good stats. But bam, that's how you clean that quarterback's clock. But on 2nd and 4, he comes out and make another hit for a tackle for loss. I'm not gonna lie to you, when it comes to rallying that ball, he's gonna be the first one to it with bad intentions as well. But on 1st and goal, as you can see, they run a read option and score on us. It's now 17-7. We have to shake back. But as you can see, he dives with the long arms that he has. He's using them to his full advantage. But as you can see, I don't like how that wide receiver absolutely boomed him. I mean, absolutely boomed him. But oh my God, he intercepts that ball at the end of the game, but we still going to lose it. He gave it all he had. He stepped in it up. 5 total tackles and 1 interception. After losing our first game, that's not too good for the team, but Bones is still going to come out every game intense, and he is not going to give up. This freshman is crazy. But as you can see, on 2nd and 1, he was sent back in the deep thirds, came back down and absolutely boomed him. Oh my God. But on 1st and 10, that was an interception, but he slipped up and has to do better on his feet. Bam! Oh my God, that's how you hurt somebody and put them out for the game. Yes, sir. But on 2nd and 2, as you can see, I was in the deep thirds, but I read it and came down and made another tackle. He is running these stats up this game. But on 3rd and 4, he almost had an interception. Get on that ground, boy. But on 2nd and 5, as you can see, he was back in his zone and he got burned. That is not like Bones, but he had absolutely got the tackle. But on 1st and 10, that's how you hit somebody behind the line of scrimmage. We take the game into overtime. It's 21-14. The running back breaks my tackle. Will he get in? No, he will not. And that's a turnover downs. Bones Bedi IX ends the game off with 11 total tackles and 2 tackles for a loss. On to our next game against the Ohio State. They are ranked number 3 and they are undefeated. So Bones Bedi IX, they are already doubting you because you are a freshman, and that's how you come out intense and show them boys who you are. But as you can see, on 2nd and 6, he was relentless to the ball all night. I mean, absolutely laying the boom and doing everything that he can to show them boys that he is not scared of contact, and he doesn't care if you're a senior or a 2nd-year senior. bam, oh my God. That's how you hit somebody. But on 1st and 10, he comes down and bam, oh my God. If you are a freshman doing things like this, you are different. He went in and got a sack for his team to push the ball to 3rd down. But as you can see, look at him, he gets another sack. That boy's fired up. But as you can see on 1st and 10, they have a read option and he hits him behind the line of scrimmage again. But on 4th and 6, they threw the ball to the other side and they will score to take it up 21-21. But Bones Bedi stayed relentless, stayed in the zone. He didn't catch the interception, but he pushed them out of bounds. And guess what? Another sack. I mean, just name somebody in college football that's better than Bones Bedi the ninth. But they read option the ball, and guess what? We pick it up in overtime, and we could, and he would go. The D lineman went all the way for 6, but the flag was on Bones Bedi. But guess what? We still going to win the game. And that right there is Heisman stats for Bones Bedi the ninth. On to our next game against Northwestern. On 1st and 10, Bones Bedi had an interception, but he dropped the ball. But on 2nd and 10, he was not in his zone, but he ran all the way across the field to make a tackle. That's still a gain of too much for them. They can't get that many yards. But with the long arms he has, he uses it to his advantage and makes the tackle. But he could have had an interception if he would have baited that right. I'm not gonna lie, Bones Bedi the ninth has been balling out. But as you can see, he gets a tackle for loss with his teammate. But guess what? He goes for the sack. Somehow, some way, got that pass off. That's unbelievable. I mean, that kid was like Patrick Mahomes. But as you can see, Bones Bedi the ninth gets an interception. Will he return it? He will break one tackle and go down. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, he almost had another one, and he made a tackle with 2 defenders in front of. On 3rd and 10, as you can see, Bones Bedi the ninth almost missed this tackle, but somehow, some way, he brought him down. But on 2nd and 1, they ran a screenplay, but he absolutely bammed him. That's how you put your shoulder in someone's chest. Bam! That's another big hit by Bones Bedi the ninth. And on 4th and 10, he was sitting in his zone, and guess what? He gets another interception, and he had an awesome game. He gets player of the game with 7 total tackles and 2 interceptions. On to our next game against 2-3 Illinois. On 2nd and 13, Bones Bedi the ninth came down and wrap and rolled him. Them Gator rolls are paying off. And on 3rd and 1, he went and got a sack, but somehow, some way, he got that ball off. But on 1st and 10, they had me on this slant route, but I caught up and made a tackle, but that was still a gain of too much. But on 1st and goal, Bones wasn't going for it. He said, you guys are not getting in this end zone. I'm sorry. But as you can see, he comes down and bam, he didn't even have a chance to turn around. That's how you hit somebody. But as you can see, he drops the interception. Come on, Bones. But he will come down and bam, absolutely flat iron him. Put him to bed. Night, night. But as you can see, on 3rd and 13, he was in man-to-man, sitting there just waiting, baiting up, and I almost had an interception. But guess what? That interception turned into my teammate getting an interception. This game coming down to a wire, we have to go out and get a stop. And on 2nd and 8, Bones go up and drops the ball. I mean, I don't know if he has butterfingers or what, but he has to catch something. But on 3rd and 2, is he absolutely... he thought he had me beat, but Bones Bedi the ninth came and retreated and will take it all the way to the house to win the ball game. We going to win. He's the game off of 9 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game, we are not losing anymore. I mean, after our first loss, we have been getting win after win after win. And on 1st and 10, he was sitting in a man-to-man and read the other wide receiver and intercepts that ball. I mean, that's how you do it, Bones Bedi the ninth. But on 2nd and 9, he comes over and bam, makes that boy fumble. And guess what? My teammate hops on the ball. But on 2nd and 13, they have another read option, and I'm lurking them all game. I'm talking about I'm coming down. Boom! That's how you clean somebody's clock. But on 3rd and 2, I was sitting in my zone. He throws to the other side of the field, stiff arms his way into the end zone. We going to lose the game. Bones didn't have a so bad one. He had 6 total tackles and 1 interception and 1 forced fumble. To our next game against 3-5 BYU, boy, it's gonna be a game. That quarterback burst across that sideline and Bones went to go make the tackle. But on 2nd and 12, as you can see, they run a jet sweep, but I will hit him behind that line of scrimmage. I was fired up. I said, there's nowhere to go, buddy. But on 1st and 10, I was sitting there, almost had an interception, but he will cut it back up and take it for 6. We are not having a great start. But on 2nd and 10, I will come down, almost intercept that one, and throw him to that ground. But on 1st and 10, I was waiting in man-to-man and dropped the ball. Come on, Butterfingers. But on 3rd and 10, I make up for it, and guess what? I catch it this time, and I was absolutely turned up with the team, and we will go on and win the ball game. He only had 2 total tackles and 1 interception. On into our next game against 4-5 Indiana, and on 1st and 10, that boy Bones came down and boom, boomed him, but on 1st and 10, he was staying in his zone again and dropped the ball. I mean, I don't know how many drops he got, but he has a lot. But as you can see, as soon as you catch that ball, he's putting you to the ground. But on 1st and 10, he comes back on this one and drops it again. I mean, I don't know what's going on in his head and what's going on with his hands. But on 3rd and 3, as you can see, he was sitting there, and I mean, the quarterback threw the ball and he will hit him. But guess what? He still got the first down. If we want to be a great team, that's absolutely boom, a gain of too much. But on 1st and 10, they throw the slant route, and I boomed him too. I mean, on 3rd and 7, I'm waiting for everybody to catch that ball, and boom, you gonna feel me every time. But on 3rd and 3, they want a read option, absolutely forklifted that quarterback. But on 3rd and 3, I finally pick up my first interception of the game. And will I return it? Ooh, our boy get outside, he breaks one tackle, and he will get brought down. We going to lose another game. Bones in the game off of 8 total tackles and 1 interception. After taking another loss, we are not even ranked anymore, and our championship hope is down the drain. But on 2nd and 1, as you can see, Minnesota drives all the way down the field and scores on us early. They are not here to play with us. But as you can see, Bones Bedi the 9th picks up an interception, but he steps right out of bounds. But on 2nd and 7, he was kinda got burnt, but he made up for it and put it on this wide receiver head top. And he said he is not playing with anyone. But on 3rd and 5, as you can see, he wasn't in his zone and he got burned and let up a touchdown. I don't know what he's doing out there. But on 1st and 10, bam, get back on your feet, son. But I mean, when they beat us, they act like they won the championship. But we're going to lose another game. And Bones in the game off of 4 total tackles and 2 interceptions. I mean, after taking about 3 losses in a row, Bones Bedi the 9th is probably going to transfer after this season. But on 3rd and 11, he absolutely lays the boom. And on 4th and 4, he was not in his zone and let up another touchdown. I mean, he is kind of gave up on the season and just, he's ready to be done. But on 1st and 10, he almost had an interception but dropped the ball. On to the next play on 2nd and 12, Bones was getting blocked up while this quarterback absolutely took off and went all the way to the house. I mean, we're getting absolutely whooped. We're getting toasted. But on 1st and 10, guess what? He said he's not gonna back down. He's gonna fight adversity and come back in this ball game. But on 3rd and 17, he come outside and booms that running back. But on 2nd and 1, the running back gets outside and he will punch it in 4-6. We're going to lose our 4th game in a row. But with that being said, Bones Bedi the 9th had a fantastic freshman season. He didn't win a Natty and he didn't win Heisman, but he is entering that transfer portal. After Bones Bedi the 9th had a great season with Wisconsin, he absolutely didn't win a national championship, so he wanted to transfer, and he transferred to the Oregon Ducks. I mean, he told coach from the start he's going to come in and change this program around, and we are going to make a run for that national championship. Going into our first game against FCSSC, Bones Bedi the 9th has to come out intense, and as you can see, he intercepts that ball early, and with the 7-foot height that he has, he's going up on anybody and catching that ball. And will he return it? No, he ran out of bounds. But on 2nd and 13, he was not in his zone, and absolutely, after he made a great play, he let up a big play for their offense. That's not a good look. But on 3rd and 3, as you can see, he was sitting in his zone again, and oh my God, Bones Bedi the 9th will pick that ball off, and this time, he will see the end zone. And when we talk about being a Heisman contender, that is a great start to the season for Bones. But on 1st and 10, he wasn't in his zone at all, but guess what? He almost had another interception, but he dropped it this time. Come on, Butterfingers. But on 2nd and 17, they can't throw the ball his way. We're going to win the game. He had no tackles with 2 interceptions. I mean, he has to change something with his tackling if he wants to be a top prospect. Going into our next game against 0-1 Virginia, they throw it Bones Bedi the 9th way, and I'm telling you, this boy is dangerous when you throw that ball his way. He might not tackle the best, but he's going to catch that ball, so do not test him. But on 2nd and 7, as you can see, he was getting kind of burnt, but he comes down on this quarterback and absolutely bams him, makes him fumble that ball, and guess what? My teammate picked it up, and I went and gave all praises to the Most High, because I'm blessed. But on 1st and 10, he drops an interception. I mean, he is just dropping them. I mean, that's the second time this season that he drops the ball. But on 3rd and 11, as you can see, he gets kind of burnt, and he always lets up a touchdown after he does something great. I don't understand it. But on 3rd and 9, he wasn't in his zone, but he comes back down on this, catches the interception, and he will get brought down. And he was absolutely fired up. He said he wants some more. But as you can see, we're going to win the game. He ends the game off of 4 total tackles and 2 interceptions and 1 forced fumble. It's always a blessing to play a team for the SEC so we can showcase our talents. And somehow, some way, Bones Bedi the 9th Night picked that ball off. I'm not going to say anything. I don't think his feet were down, but he did intercept that ball. But he's still having a problem with tackling. I mean, he's misangling and everything. He has to pick it up. Tennessee drives down the field and scores on us early, and that's not like us at all. But on 3rd and 10, bam, that's how you come down and lay a big hit and shorten somebody's neck. And oh my God, look at that one-hand interception. He dives because he's the man. But he ends the game off with only 1 total tackle and 2 interceptions. But guess what? Bones Bedi is leading the NCAA in interceptions. Going into our next game against 2-1 Cal on 3rd and 11, they throw the ball off and bam, he gets hit out of bounds pretty hard. But on 2nd and goal, they will drive down that field and he throws it right down the middle. He knows better not to throw it Bones Bedi way because it will get intercepted. But on 2nd and 18, Bones is still missing tackles. He has to get this together. And on 3rd and 9, oh my God, he was in great position and just didn't intercept the ball, but he made the tackle. But on 2nd and 4, guess what? He will get back. He said he was tired of not catching the ball and messing up, but we will go on and win the ball game. On to our next game, the team that's supposed to be the next big thing. Bones almost had an interception early on, but guess what? That boy went and got a sack. Oh my God, that is crazy coming from a DB. He wasn't even supposed to do it. He was just playing football. But as you can see, he drops an interception that could have been taken to the house. But as you can see, he misangled this tackle and came back down and made up for it. But going into the next play, as you can see, this running back runs it out and boom, that's how you lay him down before it gets started. And oh my God, almost an interception. That's how you put somebody down as soon as they catch that ball. Boom! Oh my God, that's how you clean somebody clock and shorten their neck at the same time. As you can see, there is a flag on the play. They will go in and score, and it was a flag on us, so they get 6. But oh my God, I almost jumped that route, but I will put them behind the line of scrimmage. But on 4th and 8, I will come down again and bam, I almost took them ACL, MCL out, boy. But as you can see, he ends the game off with 7 total tackles and 1 sack. Going into our next game, it's time to give Washington their first L. And I'm not gonna lie, the craziest thing just happened. I dropped the interception and he will go in for 6. I mean, that's embarrassing, Bones. You have to do better. Bam! That's how you come across the field and lay a big hit. But on 1st and 10, that was almost an interception, but he will make the tackle instead. And on 2nd and 4, they keep trying Bones, and he will deflect that ball. He said, "You're not getting anything else on me, buddy." But on 3rd and 4, as you can see, that was almost another interception. But he just cannot catch the ball. But guess what? He will not catch it, but he will put him down. But on 1st and goal, they will run it outside to go in and score, and we will take our first loss against Washington. Bones in the game off of 4 total tackles. After taking that loss, I'm not gonna lie, we're kind of humble now. We're not gonna lose again, but Bones would have made a tackle on early in the game. And on 3rd and 11, the quarterback tried him and he dropped the ball, and coach said, "Next time you drop that ball, guess where you're gonna be, Bones?" He said, "Where, coach?" Sideline. And on 2nd and 10, as you can see, he said, "Coach, I'm not gonna drop it anymore. I'm gonna take that thing to the crib," and he gonna die for 6 because he's that man. His game off of 1 total tackle, 1 interception. Coach said you have to do better. On to our next game against UCLA on 1st and 10. I almost picked the ball up, but absolutely dropped him to the ground. But on 3rd and 7, Bones was sitting in his zone and he intercepts that ball, and he will catch his balance and bounce it back outside, and he keeps tripping up. He catches his balance again, and they just rallied that ball, and he was fired up. He said, "Let's go. I want some more." And on 4th and 6, as you can see, he was just sitting there and almost had an interception. He made sure to drop him down, but he only had 3 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next game against 1-7 Stanford. We're going to treat him as such. As soon as he catches that ball, he got to gain it too much, but I will put him down. Bam! On 2nd and 8, Bones coming out intense. He said, "We are going to treat you guys just how you only won 1 game." And Bones was just not treating him as such. I mean, they scored on him. He has to do better. But as you can see, he comes down and take ACL, MCL out. It's going to be one of them type of games. He's trying to hurt you. Bam! He takes ACL, MCL out again. But going into the next play, as you can see, Bones was sitting in his own 1-hand interception. Oh my God. He ends the game off with 3 total tackles and 1 interception while we go on to win the game. Coaches came up to Bones Bedi the 9th, and he said, "If you want to start getting noticed, you have to put yourself out there. I know you're only a sophomore and you're just getting your feet wet, but you got to turn up if you want to go to the NFL like your brothers." And he said, "Coach, I got you. This game, I'm going to turn up. This is not going to look like me." Bam! bam, oh my God, he lays a big hit in the backfield, and he was fired up. I mean, on 2nd and 12, he's coming across that field and hitting like he hasn't all season. And oh my God, he almost dives for an interception, but he drops the ball. And on 1st and 10, he catches 2nd interception of the game, breaks one tackle, bounces it back outside, and he would get knocked out. He said, yes, sir. Oh, done got the wrong one turned up. And on 1st and 10, as you can see, he was sitting in his zone again, but bam! His teammates let up a pretty big game, but he finished them off. That's how you shorten somebody's neck. Bam! He's gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna lie to you. But on 2nd and 10, he comes down and takes this ball with 27 seconds to go. 28-20. That's how you end the ball game and get up and say, I own y'all. He gets player of the game with 4 total tackles and 3 interceptions. On to our next game against 4-6. Bam! Arizona. That's how you come off the edge and lay that boom. Yes, sir. Boom. That's how you hit the quarterback and get a sack. And on 2nd and 17, guess what? I go get another one. But on 1st and 10, I was sitting in my zone, but came down and laid a big hit. He got a gain of nothing. But on 3rd and 2, I absolutely lost the receiver, but he was out of my zone. That wasn't my man to get, but I still went to go get him. But as you can see, I threw him to the ground, son. You're not on the same level as me. But on 3rd and 5, this boy catch the ball and I dive for his legs out of bounds. And on 1st and 10, this is how you come down, lay a big hit, and get him behind the line of scrimmage and get up and say, yes, sir. Bones Bedi the ninth has been on a roll for the last 2 games, but as you can see, he drops an interception. Come on, man. But he gets 8 total tackles and 2 sacks. On to our next game against Oregon State. I'm going to show them who the real Oregon is, and bam! Oh my God, I absolutely threw him on his back, son. You just got embarrassed. But on 3rd and 8, Bones Bedi the ninth read this like it was nothing. I mean, he just knew the playbook. He absolutely knew it and took it all the way to the crib. And guess what? He absolutely broke the school interception record. Oh my God, this kid is going bananas. Doing the things that Bones Bedi the ninth is doing as a sophomore, oh my God, he goes and get a sack. It's unbelievable. Just imagine when he hits his junior year. That's his breakout year to go to the league. But as you can see, he drops an interception, and we kind of didn't make it to the conference championship game, but still got invited to go play the bowl game. On to the All-State Bowl game against number 14 TCU. I kind of feel bad for him because we're going to come out in 10s. I feel like we were supposed to go to that national championship, so now we are going to take it out on them. And Bones missed an interception. Come on, man. But on 1st and 10, he came down and made a big tackle. And on 1st and 10, he absolutely got did up by this wide receiver, but bammed him as well. But guess what? We're not national champions, but we are bowl champs. And guess what? Bones Bedi the ninth had 14 interceptions on the season, leading the NCAA in interceptions. Oh my God. But he had no chance at Heisman. He has to get it next year. But guess what? This is the end of his sophomore season. After Bones Bedi the ninth had a monster sophomore season, junior season has to be better. And as you can see, he intercepts the ball early on, and he could juke, weave. Oh my God. That's how you make him look crazy. Getting later into practice, they had a sweet play, and I boom, absolutely stuffed it. I tried to get in his chest. Hey, yo. But as you can see, I came around and made a tackle behind him. And I don't know why the quarterback kept throwing it Bones Bedi the ninth way. He picked that thing off again, and this time he hit that sideline. He will, and they will push him out. Going into our first game against Wyoming. This has to be a statement game for Bones Bedi the ninth. And he intercepts that ball and get up and said, this is my ball, and y'all would not get it back. You talk about coming out and starting intense. I mean, with another interception, this is what you call a great game to get started, and this is how you put a team away early. They will have fear in them. And as you can see, on 3rd and 4, I was staying in my zone, almost had another one, but that's what you call a pass breakup. But on 2nd and 10, bam, oh my God, you better drop that ball, kid, because you don't belong on the same field as me. But as you can see, on 1st and 10, I got burnt, but I made up for it and intercepts the ball again, and I will get brought down. Bones Bedi the ninth to start off to a great season with 3 interceptions. We go on to win the game, and he ends the game off on only 1 total tackle, but 3 interceptions that made up for it. Going into our next game against Michigan State. When you're on a mission, you have to stay focused and come out and start off intense every game. And as you can see, I start the game off with a tackle for loss. Bones Bedi on 4th and 2 was staying in his zone, but I'm not gonna lie, that other side was not. They ran it in for 6, but when he get an interception interception? No, he will not. He will let up a big pass or a 28-yard reception, but on 2nd and 9, he kind of made up for it, and boom, this quarterback, oh my God, got up and silenced the crowd and said, it's on. After that big hit against the quarterback, you always want to get a big hit to fear their whole offense. Once the quarterback's rattled, the whole team is gonna rattle with them. But on 4th and goal, we hold them to 3, and it is now 10-10. On 2nd and 12, Bones Bedi was not in his zone, but he boomed the quarterback and made sure to make his head hurt some more. But on 1st and 10, not being in my zone, the wide receiver got me, and they will go on to win the game. We take our first L of the season with 5 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. On to our next game after taking that devastating loss, Bones Bedi has been questioning himself on why he wasn't in his zone. Why was he just doing his own thing? He didn't do his 3-10-30 read progression. I mean, what was he doing out there? And I mean, Bones Bedi has been in the film room and said, I cannot make that mistake again. And on 2nd and 10, oh my God, he made that mistake again, and he has to get it together if he want to be a top pick in that NFL draft. And as you can see, he makes a tackle and he gets up and he was kind of hyped, but he kind of needs to get it together. And on 3rd and 17, he messed up again. Bones Bedi has to get it together. And he just, I don't know what's going through his head. I don't know if he's starting to do a little bit of drugs or what, but he is messing up. As you can see on 3rd and 12, he finally gets an interception, and I mean, finally does his read progression, and he is dancing. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't be dancing out there. It's nothing to be proud about. That's what you're supposed to do. But he drops another interception that could have been to the crib. He ends the game off with 4 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game against Utah on 1st and 10, I'm not gonna lie, I was in my zone, but I had 2 to cover and I didn't know which one to go for, and I went for that one and I hit my teammate, and he will go all the way, but I will shoestring tackle. And when you talk about trying to get to a great start, that was a horrible start, and they went in and scored early. I'm not gonna lie, that was just a whole bad defensive possession right there, but I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't in my zone, but I came down and boom, oh my God, I about took ACL, MCL out, and I got up fired up with my teammate. And with Bones Bedi having a horrible game last game, he can't make any mistakes, and as I say that, he made a mistake and wasn't in his zone, and that wide receiver took it all the way to the crib to make it 28-14. I don't know what's going on with Bones, but he's just not playing like himself, but we will go on to win the ball game. He has game off of 3 total tackles. The past 2 weeks hasn't been the best for Bones Bedi, so boom, he has to have a great game this game. And on 2nd and 2, he was not in his zone at all, but he almost intercepted the ball with a great hit that he had. And on 1st and 10, he was sitting back and bam, oh my God, got somebody. And when Bones come to play, he plays amazing, but he kind of lets up another pass, and coach says, you let up another pass, I promise you're gonna be on that bench. But as you can see on 2nd and 11, Bones Bedi catches the interception, and I think he's back acting like himself, and he's back on that road to go be the greatest cornerback to ever do it. But as you can see on the other side of the field, they let up a touchdown, but I came through and laid the hit in the hole and made sure that quarterback had no room to go anywhere. After a great defensive stop, as you can see, the offense went up and scored, and I will get burnt again to let up another touchdown. Man, I don't know what's going on. But on 1st and 10, I said I wasn't going for it no more and did it again. Come on, Bones. You're just letting everybody run right past you like you're just a freshman. But as you can see on 1st and 10, they throw it to the other side of the field and will score again. And I was absolutely pissed off. I said I can't take it anymore. And on 2nd and 10, they tried us with 0 seconds on the clock, and they did not catch that ball, and we will go on and win the ball game. But Bones has to get it together if he want to be a top pick in this draft. He ends the game off with 6 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game against UCLA, I feel like this is going to be the breakout game for Bones Bedi. But as you can see, he comes all the way across the field and makes a tackle. That was a horrible start. A 27-yard reception we cannot be giving up early on in the game. But as you can see, I hit him as soon as he caught the ball, and on 1st and 10, this quarterback ran right outside, and I will bam, oh my God, I forklifted that kid. But on 2nd and goal, as you can see, I will wrap and roll. Those Gator rolls are paying off. And on 1st and 10, bam, oh, got somebody. But on 2nd and goal, I was sitting in my zone, and they threw it to the other side. I think they kind of scared to throw it Bones' way because he's not playing this game, and he's picking off everything that comes his way. He missed the interception. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, they will throw another dot to take it up 22-22. We going to overtime, and I will come and hit that kid, and we will go on to win the ball game with 6 total tackles. Game after game after game, bam, boom, oh my God, Bones has been tried and he said he has had enough. And we are at the crib. And as you can see, boom, oh my God, I don't think he came to play, you guys. And on 3rd and 10, they throws a short route and he comes and take AC or MC a lot. He made him flip on his head. But on 1st and 10, he was sitting in his zone, and guess what? He will intercept that ball and he sees nothing but that crib. And he could take that thing to the house. And he was dancing and jigging and doing his thing. Week after week, every quarterback has been trying Bones Bedi tonight, targeting him and throwing that ball his way. But he got burnt right there, but he absolutely stops and made the tackle. But as you can see on 2nd and 2, they throw it his way again and he absolutely drops the interception. Come on, Butterfingers. But as you can see on 2nd and 15, he absolutely gets another TFL. But on 2nd and 10, bam, oh my God, boy, sit down. And I think Bones Bedi tonight is kind of getting ahead of himself because he tripped over his feet and let up the only touchdown of the game. We were supposed to keep donuts on that board. And it's 4th and goal and they throw an out route for another TD. Bones Bedi tonight has to get it together because they're targeting him every time. He ends the game off with 8 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game is a much-needed game for us to win it. Bones Bedi tonight said he's not going to be tried this game and these quarterbacks are going to stop targeting him. So he took it to the crib and said, "It's my house. Y'all boys got me messed up." And on 1st and 10, he came down and absolutely boom this kid. Oh my God. After letting him drive all the way down the field on 1st and goal, they will punch it in for 6 and they were absolutely fired up. We cannot give them the momentum at all. But as you can see, I came down to get a pass breakup. That was almost an interception. But on 2nd and 11, I let him get this out route and he absolutely took it to the crib. Bones Bedi tonight is finna turn up. They done messed up. But as you can see, he gets another interception. I told you that boy was gonna turn up. That boy said, "This is my house. I don't know why y'all keep trying me," but he lets a pass right down the middle and he could and he would take it to the crib. I said, you know what? For every positive thing y'all get, I'm gonna get it right back. So Bones Bedi tonight picks that ball up and he said, "I'm trying to find that crib this time," but I'm not gonna lie, they rallied the ball. But we going to win. He had 1 total tackle and 3 interceptions. But after that big win right there, we are now ranked number 9 in the country and we're going against Cal, and I will intercept the ball the first play of the game to get this game started, and that's how you change the momentum and shut down the offense early on. You get that quarterback rattled, absolutely. But on 2nd and 10, I came down and cleaned this clock. Oh my God. On 2nd and 4, Bones Bedi is 28-0. He said he smelt that end zone, so he picks the ball off and he could and he would go all the way to the crib. And he was absolutely fired up. And on 3rd and 9, I don't know why this quarterback keep trying him. He dropped that one. That was almost his 3rd. Going into the next play on 3rd and 13, the quarterback has kind of figured out not to throw that ball my way, and they will go in for 6. And I was kind of frustrated because I said that's not supposed to happen. So I went in and got a sack. It ends the game off with 2 total tackles and 2 interceptions. On to our next game against Arizona, we went up 3-0 early on, and on 1st and 10, he absolutely threw a bomb deep on both of us and put it on our head top. That was crazy. But on 1st and goal, they will run it in for 6. And on 2nd and 11, they absolutely came outside, and I will wrap and roll them. Them Gator rolls are paying off. And as you can see, this dude was breaking all these tackles, so I came across the field and absolutely threw him out of bounds. But with it being 12-7, at any moment they could take that lead. So I absolutely dropped the interception. We should have had that, but we still going to win the ball game, and I had 5 total tackles. On to our next game against Colorado. Prime time. It's time to put these boys to a stop. And on 1st and 10, they had a read option, and Shador Sanders was breaking all of these tackles. I'm not gonna lie, he was getting down the field, but I absolutely came and tackled him. He's gonna know who Bones Bedi tonight is at the end of this game, but I'm not gonna lie, he ran it in for 6. But on 1st and 10, boom, got to mighty, I cleaned that kid's clock. But on 2nd and 3rd, I came down and absolutely wrapped and rolled him. He still had a gain of too much. He had the 1st down. But on 1st and 10, they had another read option. I hit Shador and he hit the running back and they get a gain of nothing. But as you can see, we're going to win the ball game, and I end the game off with 4 total tackles. Going into our rival game against Oregon State, we're going to show y'all boys who Oregon is. And on 3rd and 16, as you can see, Bones Bedi tonight took that thing to the crib to start the game off. And on 1st and 10, they had a sweep play, but I wasn't going. Bam! Oh my God, I forced the fumble. My teammate picked it up, and this is the way to get the game started. I'm talking about I got these boys rattled early, and oh my God, Bones Bedi tonight with a one-hand interception. He will try to return it, make a defender miss, but he will hit me and bring me down. After absolutely going ballistics the last 3 series, I absolutely let up a touchdown, and I was pissed off at myself. So I said, you know what? The next series, I'm going to get that ball back. And on 1st and 10, Bones Bedi tonight intercepts that ball. He kind of tripped over his player, then got brought down. I'm not going to lie, they rallied the ball. And with that interception, I broke the school record on interceptions with 14. 15. That boy right there is gonna be bad, mama. But on 1st and 10, he ran a crazy route, but I absolutely tried to rip that ball out, son. I'm not playing with you. Going into the next play, on 2nd and 3, they had a sweep play, and I absolutely horse-collared this kid. But on 1st and goal, he ran a slant route, and I let up a touchdown. I'm getting a little too ahead of myself, but I come around that corner, oh my God, we helicoptered that kid. And as you can see, I get player of the game with 5 total tackles and 3 interceptions and 1 forced fumble. After absolutely balling out this season with only 1 loss, we're going into our next game, the Pac-12 championship game against UCLA. I said it's no fly zone. Don't throw that ball my way. And on 2nd and 6, Bones Bedi in the 9th will intercept that ball, and will he return it? He would hit that sideline, bounce it back up, break 1 tackle, and they all rallied that ball. But going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I absolutely read this play like the back of my hand, so I absolutely broke on it. But on 1st and 10, I broke on this one too, and boom, got Tamati absolutely laid him out. I hope he has a headache. If I was him, I would have quit football after that one. But going into the next play on 3rd and 2, they keep throwing these short routes, and bam, I don't care if you ran out of bounds, son, you're gonna get hit. But on 2nd and 8, I absolutely go and deflect the ball, and we are Pac-12 champions. We have made it. And Bones Bedi in the 9th ends the game off with 4 total tackles and 1 interception. We have finally made it, going into the national championship game against the University of Louisville. As you can see, we got a 3-and-out early on to start the game off, and I almost had an interception going into the next drive, but he absolutely got it on me. But on 2nd and 6, I boomed him and made sure to hit him in front of his teammates. But the quarterback threw the ball to me, and I will intercept it, and Tony toe tapper. Boy, that was beautiful. But as you can see, on 2nd and 6, I went and got a sack. I was absolutely fired up. I said, y'all boys done unleashed the beast, and bam, got Tamati. Flipped him, and I hope he's all right, because that was a pretty hard hit he had to take, and I absolutely rattled him after that one. I don't think he wanted to run the ball again. I think they just gave up after that one. But on 3rd and goal, oh my God, I almost had a diving interception, but I dropped it. But on 4th and goal, they will punch the ball in, and they tried to tie the game up, but we will go down and score again. And in overtime, this quarterback tried to run it, but he fumbles the ball, and we could, and we would go all the way. Will he get hawked? He will get hawked. But guess what? We still going to win the game, and Bones Bedi in the 9th gets player of the game with 8 total tackles. And as you can see, we are presenting our coach that national championship trophy. And I'm not gonna lie, after breaking the school record in interceptions and going to win a national championship, Bones Bedi in the 9th is headed to a great stage, and he will be entering the NFL draft. And with the first pick of the round 1 NFL draft, Bones Bedi in the 9th has got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. This is Avalanche Bedi the 11th. You may be wondering, what position does he play? He plays cornerback with the number 99 from Alaska, a small town that he didn't have a high school to go to, so he went to a community college. This was the only way he could showcase his talents. With Avalanche Bedi the 11th absolutely going ballistic at the community college, he absolutely picked up preferred walk-ons from a lot of college schools, and he's going to commit to Vanderbilt. After Avalanche Bedi the 11th absolutely picked to be a preferred walk-on at Vanderbilt, and coming from a community college, it's going to be kind of hard for him because he really didn't have competition to go against, but he absolutely came out to practice intense. I mean, he had 2 tackles already and absolutely almost had his first interception. But coach said, next week, son, you can challenge for that next string. The Avalanche Bedi the 11th being 4th on that depth chart, but absolutely getting a chance to get on special teams. Bam! Oh my God! He absolutely laid that boom and said, coach, you need to put me in that game. But he went right to the sideline, watching all his teammates, and finally gets a chance in the 2nd quarter before halftime, and they absolutely throw a touchdown. That's not a good look when you first get into the game. But with it being 19-14, coach put me back in the game, and bam! Another big hit from Avalanche Bedi the 11th. Coming back down on special teams, he said he wanted all the action. Bam! Oh my God! And we go on to win the game, and Avalanche Bedi ends the game off with 4 total tackles. That's a backup. Avalanche Bedi the 11th being a preferred walk-on and also being 4th on the depth chart and touching the field is a blessing. Now he gets a position battle against Jay Lucien to get that number 3 spot on the depth chart, and guess what? He wins it. He is now the number 3 cornerback. Going into the 2nd game of the season, Avalanche Bedi the 11th got a little too excited. He absolutely hit the returner while he was fair catching the ball, which was a flag, and coach was upset with that. But bam! I said I'll make up for it, coach. I made him fumble that ball, and we recovered it. And I told coach I wouldn't fail him again. And absolutely, when he got another tackle on special teams, I mean, give me special teams player of the week. Bam! boom. Oh my God, that wasn't a big hit, but I still got another hit and almost blocked that field goal. After doing my part on special teams, coach give me the chance on defense, and I make my second collegiate tackle. And on 3rd and 11, I was in zone, and oh my God, almost first interception, but I dropped it. I ended the game off with 6 total tackles and 1 forced fumble. Slowly but surely, Avalanche Bedi at 11th. Oh my God, one-hand interception is moving up the depth chart. Against T. Russell, with that first interception, he won it already. Coach said you can have that spot, and I took it with my second interception. Get off of me, son. I'm running down that sideline too, but I absolutely get boomed. Coming around that corner, boom, boy, get behind the line of scrimmage. I'm now number 2 on the depth chart. Going into our next game against South Carolina, being named the number 2 cornerback. Boom! Oh my God, this is a great start. And we hold them to 3 as a defense early on, but that was absolutely too much. But on 2nd and 10, boom! They're gonna fill you all night, Avalanche Bedi at 11th. But getting tripped up in man-to-man, this wide receiver caught him lacking and went and scored a touchdown, which wasn't great for him. But on 1st and goal, he was sitting in man-to-man again, and they threw it to the other side. They are not playing with us. We have to turn the switch on at some time, and guess what? Avalanche Bedi at 11 turned it on. He said, I'm going to take this to the crib. Since offense can't get it done, juke. Oh my God, what are you doing on the ground? Get up. Touchdown. With that being said, the switch is turned on. They threw it Avalanche Bedi way again. He said, no sir, no fly zone my way. And on 3rd and 10, he almost picked it off, but guess what? His teammate picked it off. Let's go. Some things you just have to let go, but with Avalanche Bedi at 11th having a great game, we're going to lose our first one, 14-20. But Avalanche is the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. And a community college kid coming in as a preferred walk-on. The time is here. Going against the number 1 cornerback, B. Anderson. Oh my God, he almost intercepts that. It's time to take his spot. And as you can see, I get a blitz and hit him in that backfield, and that will win me the position battle. I am now the number 1 cornerback. Kids pray for times like this. Avalanche Bedi at 11th is now the number 1 cornerback at Vanderbilt, and the game didn't start out too well. Georgia Southern took it to the house. Avalanche is just the game changer. He went all the way across the field and absolutely made a great tackle, but on 1st and 10, he tried to send a blitz, and I don't know what Avalanche was doing, because they took that to the house. And ever since Avalanche Bedi at 11th became a starter, boom, oh my God, these teams have been getting big starts against us. And, oh my God, this kid is crazy. He gets an interception, and could he go? Yes, he will go. Oh my God, he gets shoestring tackle, but he was still fired up. But on 1st and 10, he was sitting in that zone and said he wants another one. Give me that, gimme. One thing the Avalanche Bedi at 11th promised the coach, he said he will be the number 1. Oh my God, he gets a sack. Interception leader, and he almost had another interception, but on 3rd and 4, he absolutely turns that corner and takes it all the way to the crib. But as you can see, they get down and score again. It's now 28-28. We going to overtime, but bam, I told this quarterback, don't run that ball again. And son, you not getting no fly zone coming my way. Bam, I'm gonna teach you a lesson, son. I'm gonna give you a headache, and I promise you won't run that ball my way ever again. They kicked 3, and we did not convert. They go on and win the ball game. But Avalanche Bedi at 11 is having a great game. He ends the game off with 11 total tackles and 2 interceptions. Going into our next game after having a great game against UAB, I'm telling you, we was rallying that ball. And on 3rd and 15, the quarterback threw it right to me, and I'm telling you, I'm going to be number 1 and being the interception leader. And I gave all praises to the Most High, because being a preferred walk-on and coming from a community college, oh my God, I let him get up that field, but it's a blessing, I'm telling you. And on 1st and 10, I was sitting back in my zone again, and I about had another one, but I tried to script that ball. And on 2nd and 11, this quarterback ran it in, absolutely ran me over to get in the end zone, but I came down and laid another big hit and forced the fumble and got up and said, yes sir, let me do my jiggy. And on 2nd and 4, I came around that corner, boom, get that ball out, and my teammates picked it up again, and guess what, he go take it all the way to the house, and I was hyped up. After absolutely having 3 game-changing plays, boom, this boy crazy, I'm telling you, and he go get a sack, oh my God. After having a great game, he gets player of the game with 8 total tackles. After having a magnificent game, going into our next game against Missouri, I laid a big hit early on, and on 4th and 2, we tried to stop him, but they punched that ball in, and they went to score on us early, and that's not good. And I mean, he hit that corner, and I sealed the edge to make sure he didn't get no more yards. But come around that corner again. I say I'm gonna lay that boom all night, so you better not do it again. And oh my God, always being the game changer, Avalanche Bedi the 11th takes the pick six to the house. But on 1st and 10, they throw it not his way, and he goes all the way across the field to make a tackle. I mean, that athleticism, oh my God, almost has another interception, but they draw it down again, and guess what? They punch it in for 6. It's now 14-14. Boom, I'm gonna meet you in that backfield, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be a brick wall. Boom, oh my God, I'm gonna hit you with my head this time, son. And on 3rd and 9, let's go get a sack. Oh my God. But not being in my zone, the wide receiver absolutely catches it for 6, and I was absolutely disappointed in myself. But on 2nd and 4, I came around that corner again and laid another big hit. But with it coming down to the wire, Avalanche Bedi the 11th against this number 7, he won the battle. He went up and got it, and we going to lose the game. I ended the game off for 8 total tackles. Into our next game against Georgia, it's going to be a big game, but Avalanche Bedi the 11th absolutely dropped interception early, but absolutely laid a big hit and forced that fumble. That's the way to start the game. There's one thing special about this kid. Every time you come watch him, you know he gonna have a highlight reel the whole game. Bam, oh my God. Lays a big hit behind the line of scrimmage. And on 1st and 10, just sitting in his zone, he intercepts that ball, and when he return it, oh my God, catches his balance. Juke, oh my God, they rallied that ball, but he could not stay up. But on 1st and 10, boom, oh my God, absolutely got ran over, but that's how you put your body on the line and go get another sack. He is crazy, but he gets player of the game with 6 total tackles and 2 sacks. On to our next game against Texas A&M, I absolutely came down and laid a big hit on this Donovan Green receiver and absolutely stared him down. But on 1st and 10, you're not throwing the ball my way, so throw it out of bounds like you did. Bam, oh my God, that's a hit stick. And on 3rd and 10, you throw that ball. Oh my God, that's almost a one-hand interception. But I didn't have a so well game, but he ends the game off for 4 total tackles. To our next game against the number 19 seed Florida Gators, and I'm not gonna lie, this number 4 burnt me early on in the game, so we ordered them to 3, which was very good. And on 3rd and 3, I came down and absolutely got him behind the line of scrimmage with my teammate. And on 3rd and 1, this dude routed me up, but guess what? They didn't give me the interception somehow, some way. I mean, Avalanche Bedi the 11th just didn't go get it, but I was not in my zone, and I told you this number 4 was giving me trouble all game. And when somebody pissed me off, it get real ugly. Avalanche Bedi the 11th picks it off on the extra point conversion, and he could and he would go all the way to the crib to put 2 points on the board for his team. But as you can see, they drive back down and kick 3 again, and we going to lose another game, but he ends the game off with only 4 total tackles. On to our next game against 5-4 Kentucky, did not start off well. They punched that ball in early on, but on 3rd and 6, you don't throw it Avalanche Bedi the 11th way. He intercepts that ball. He absolutely gets put to the ground as soon as he catches it, but he was fired up. And on 3rd and 2, he will meet him outside, but throw him kind of towards the end zone, so they're now on the 1-yard line. And I think Avalanche Bedi had a brain for it, but on 3rd and 6, he said, give me that. He will intercept that ball, catch his balance, break 1 tackle, break it out, but they will rally that ball. And he said, let me go get this to my mama. And on 1st and 10, he was in his zone again, and he said, give me that again. And this time, he's trying to find that end zone. He tried to juke, but they will put him down. And with that interception, he breaks the school interception record, and that's crazy from the story that he has. But he ends the game off with 2 total tackles and 3 interceptions. Going into our next game against the Tennessee Vols, you might not know, but Avalanche Bedi the 11th played D-line in Little League, and he stares that quarterback down. And on 3rd and 1, he was in a man-to-man coverage and absolutely got burnt, but he will put him down. And on 2nd and 9, bam, oh my God, this quarterback might be hurt. And on 4th and 1, he was sitting in his zone again and almost one-hand interception, but we will force that turnover. And on 3rd and 2, let me go help my teammate out and throw him on the ground. And on 1st and 10, he was absolutely in man-to-man and almost intercepted, but he dropped it. And on 2nd and 10, he said, can I get 1? No, he will not, but his teammate will pick it up, and he ends the game off with 5 total tackles. Going into our next game against Wake Forest, oh my God, this should be a blowout, and that should have been a pick 6 to the house. But on 1st and 10, that quarterback said, I'm going to take this thing to the house, and he absolutely got a gain of too much, but absolutely got another tackle and got up and said, let's go, man, we got to get this game started. These boys got way too much, and they think they could play with us. I'm going to drill every single one of them. I'm not going to play with them. Avalanche Bedi the 11 is turned up, but he absolutely misses the tackle, and this quarterback is just special. I mean, he will, and he could get hawked down by my teammates, but not sitting in my zone. Boom, reading the play, absolutely read it. Oh my God. Boom, hit down, quarterback, you're not going anywhere. Boom, I'm not gonna play with any of you. Boom. boom! Oh my God! Avalanche Bedi, the 11th, is going insane, but they will score. We're going to win the ball game, and he ends the game off with 12 total tackles. After winning 7 games and getting a ticket to be invited to a bowl game, Avalanche Bedi, the 11th, was blessed. But he makes a tackle, and he was not here to play. On 1st and 10, he was in his zone, but they throw a touchdown. I mean, what are we doing? I absolutely wasn't in my zone and let up another touchdown, and going into the next play, he had a slant route and absolutely hit him as soon as he caught the ball. But going into the next play, I tried to seal the edge, and bam, oh my God, I absolutely sealed it with a hit stick. But sitting in my zone again, they throw it the other way and score again. It's now 21-17. We have to do something. He runs that ball outside. Come here, boy. I'm not going to play with y'all anymore. I'm sitting in my zone. Nope, I'm trying to take interceptions. But on 1st and 10, I tried to go get a sack, and this wide receiver absolutely said he was taking this to the crib, but no. But Dookie said, I'm going to go get you. But going, boom, oh my God, he is not playing. Tried to get an interception, but they throw it to their teammate. It's now 31-38, overtime. And with Bedi losing outside containment and thinking he was going to run outside, he took it back inside. But oh my God, missing another tackle. It's 38-38 overtime. They take it to the crib, but guess what? We go on and lose, and things were not in our favor. But this is the end of Avalanche Bedi, the 11th freshman season, and he was #1 in interceptions. But will he return to Vanderbilt, or will coach not give him any scholarship money and let him go? The Avalanche Bedi, the 11th story being a roller coaster. As a preferred walk-on at Vanderbilt, he chooses to stay one more year. Going into the first practice was a rainy one, but he was sitting in his zone, and as you can see, he came down, did not lay that boom, but threw him to the grab. A boom, oh my God. Coach said, son, you gotta stop hitting that quarterback so hard, or I will take you off the roster. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got routed up, but coach said, good job practicing. You're in no danger of losing that starting position. The Avalanche Bedi, the 11th, going into his first game of his sophomore season this year has to be a year to remember. And on 1st and 10, Avalanche goes and get a tackle for loss, and he said, no, y'all not going nowhere, and I want all the smoke. And on 1st and 10, he was sitting in man-to-man. Boom, oh my God, he absolutely saved that cornerback's life. But on 2nd and 10, he goes up and get his first interception of his sophomore season, and that boy said, I'm not even hyped up. They shouldn't have drove down the field. But on 1st and 10, oh my God, that's how you lay that wood. On 3rd and 10, oh my God, Avalanche could have had an interception if he would have came in front of that receiver. But as you can see, we will hold that offense to 3 points, and we said this time we're gonna go out there and you all are not gonna get anything. Oh my God, reading the screen, Avalanche gets his 2nd interception of his sophomore season. He said, y'all boys cannot hold me. He goes on to get player of the game with 5 total tackles and 2 interceptions. Going into our next game against Georgia Southern, as you can see, on 3rd and 4, I absolutely nearly had an interception, but I will drop him as soon as he caught that ball. And on 1st and 10, I went to help my teammates because they somehow couldn't get this big fella down. So I went to go help him, and on 1st and 10, they were driving down the field, and I pretty much didn't like it. Avalanche Bedi, the 11th, said he has to make a change, and oh my God, he lets up a touchdown. He nearly had an interception, but on 3rd and 9, he said, I got y'all boys. I'm gonna put it in the box when I catch it this time. Going into the next play, on 1st and 10, I'm telling you, if I would have got a little faster, I would have caught that ball. But on 1st and 10, oh my God, made him do a split. What is he doing? And I absolutely stared him down. Oh my God. But we going to win the game. He ends the game off with 5 total tackles and 1 interception. Going into our next game against 2-1 Wake Forest. They're not even in our conference. So as you can see, I went and got a sack early. Avalanche Bedi, the 11th, on 2nd and 11. Bam! Oh my God. That's how you lay a boom to shove his head down and get up like the man. And on 1st and goal, I caught him outside. That's how you keep outside containment when your DN don't. But on 4th and goal, we will make them absolutely kick a field goal. They were not getting in the box. But on 3rd and 12, I came down and absolutely weren't in my right zone, but he still didn't catch the ball. So guess what? They kicked 3 again. We're not letting them score a touchdown. On 3rd and 12, this wide receiver had a slant route. Avalanche Bedi, the 11th, said, no sir, no fly zone my way. You will not catch a ball on me. And on 1st and 10, that's how you hawk the quarterback down before he gets started. Oh my God, that's 2 sacks on the game. And on 2nd and 10, they have another read option, but bam, got somebody. On 4th and 5, Avalanche Bedi, the 11th, is in a man-to-man, and we go and get a turnover down, so we will win the ball game. He ends the game off for 7 total tackles and 1 sack. Going into our next game against the number 14 seed South Carolina on 3rd and 9, it's time to put them to an end and give them their first L. But as you can see, Avalanche Bedi, the 11th, gets his first interception of the game, and he was hyped up. But on 2nd and 11, he said, no,
no, not just one. Give me that ball again. I promise you, this quarterback will not throw that ball my way. And he's still trying to find that end zone, but he just can't. He's going down the bench and saying, yes, sir, I appreciate all y'all. Let's go get a sack. Oh, my God. Coach said, that's my man. But, oh, my God, almost a one-hand interception. And so I get that ball out of there. Y'all boys is not catching the ball on me. Avalanche Bedi 11 gets his third interception of the game. And this time, oh, my God, he was trying to find his way to that end zone, but he was hyped up. He goes on to get player of the game with 2 tackles and 3 interceptions. After taking out South Carolina, we are now ranked number 24 in the nation. And as you can see, didn't start off well going against Ole Miss. But oh my God, how, Avalanche? How did you drop that interception? But as you can see, we get these boys to punt us the ball back, and it was time for our offense to march down that field, and they will do. But as you can see on 1st and 10, oh my God, I stumbled over my feet, and this quarterback, he could and he would get up that field, but we finally get him. Boom, oh my God, I knocked that ball out, but no one got it. On 1st and 10, this running back hits that outside, and he could go all the way. Going against an 0-5 team is not starting off well. We couldn't imagine it like this, but as you can see, oh my God, Avalanche with the interception, he will go down. With that interception right there, Avalanche Bedi 11 breaks the 15 interception record of Casey Hayward with 16. Oh my God. And on 1st and 10, he almost had a one-hand interception, but he made the tackle. And on 4th and 11, he throws it to his other receiver, and they find the end zone. And bam, good God almighty. That's how you lay someone flat out. But we just didn't give up. We tried to kick an onside kick, and they absolutely recovered it. And they will give us our first L of the season. And Bedi, he wasn't too happy of that, but he ends the game off with 7 total tackles. After losing that game last week, going into the week's practice, we did not have a great practice, and Bedi absolutely got ran over, and that's not like him. And on 1st and 10, oh my God, a one-hand interception. He made up for it for sure. Absolutely celebrated with his team, but on 1st and 10, he kind of let up a touchdown, but bam, oh my God, that's a way to make up for it. And on 1st and 10, he said he wants another one, and he could. Oh my God, when he made that corner, he will hit that outside, and Bedi could go. Oh my God, he gets hawked down, but he was still fired up. He said, don't throw that ball my way. Bam, oh my God, that's how you take ACL, MCL out. Bam, oh my God, that's how you give someone a headache and not remember the next day. And on 4th and 3, oh my God, Tony Teetop, Avalanche Bedi 11th, 3rd interception of the game, and he now breaks the school interception record with 10 interceptions of his career. With all the great highlights of the game, on 3rd and goal, the Florida Gators drive down the field, and they will score on us and give us our 2nd L in a row. And we go on to end the game off with 4 total tackles and 3 interceptions. Things are not going well. After losing 2 games back-to-back, we are not even ranked anymore. Georgia goes down and score on us early on. But on 1st and 10, bam, oh my God, that's how you clean someone clock early on. And on 3rd and 2, I was in a man-to-man. He had an out route, but I absolutely picked that ball. I said, sir, I'm going to get an interception every game, so you're just another check on my list, and I'm going to take that interception. Bam, oh my God, I almost made you do a backflip, kid. Going into the next one on 3rd and 8, he absolutely break my teammate tackle, so I take ACL, MCL out and made him fall on his face, and I said, hey, I got him. With this running back, bam, keep running the ball. I'm just going to give him a headache and teach him a lesson. But on 2nd and 10, I absolutely got burned, and he took it all the way to the crib, and they absolutely nailed the ball, and we going with our 3rd L of the season. The Avalanche is the game off with 5 total tackles and 1 interception. Loss after loss after loss after loss is kind of steering Avalanche Bedi 11th away. He might just transfer after this season, but he's going to put up great stats as he can. But bam, oh my God. Every single game, Avalanche is giving it all he got. His teammates is just not helping him out. But this time, it was kind of on Avalanche. He wasn't in his own, and this kid took it all the way for 6. But I think he's just getting kind of frustrated with himself. The defense is totally just falling apart. And on 2nd and 4, bam, oh my God. He's going to try his best to just knock everyone out of the game since we have no chance at a national championship or conference championship. We're just going to hurt people. Not by harm, but on that football field, I mean. And on 1st and 10, as you can see, he absolutely runs an out route and let up a touchdown, and we lose another game. He has a game off with 6 total tackles. On to our next game, we now have the record of a trash team. And on 1st and 10, bam, oh my God, we're going against Texas A&M. With them being ranked number 8 in the nation, it's time to put them to an end. On 2nd and goal, they absolutely punched the ball in for 6, and we have to stop them next time. But bam, another big hit from Bedi 11. Like I was saying, our defense is just falling all the way apart. We have no communication. We have no tackling skills for what? We just absolutely suck. But on 3rd and 8, as you can see, I absolutely made up for it. I said, I guess I'm going to be the only one on the team to make a difference and to get an interception. And we go and win the game. He ends the game off with 5 total tackles and 1 interception. Sometimes Avalanche Bedi 11 just don't get it with this team. How do we beat ranked teams and lose to sorry teams? But bam, bam, oh my God. Going against the University of Kentucky, they are 1-7, and I absolutely blitz, trying to be a hero, not in my zone, and he take it all the way for 6. With Avalanche Bedi 11 getting a pick every game, he thought he had that one, but I guess his fingers was a little frozen, but not in his zone once again. He let up another touchdown. Avalanche is just not having a good game, but bam, oh my God, the team, can you back me up for once? Going out on 3rd and goal and absolutely getting another stop. We will go on and win another game. He has a game off for 5 total tackles. Into our next game against the Tennessee Vols. Oh my God, I got a good stop behind the line of scrimmage. It was absolutely fired up. But on 3rd and goal, he absolutely found a receiver in the back of the end zone. But on 1st and 10, I was getting blocked up and absolutely missed the tackle. And this Bumbarowski kid absolutely hit the sideline. It took it almost to the touchdown, but I absolutely throw him to the ground. I absolutely had enough. And on 2nd and goal, I don't know what Avalanche was doing, but he let up a touchdown. Oh my God, almost an interception. But on 1st and 10, these trees got an Avalanche way. But on 2nd and 16, boom, oh my God, that's how you knock someone down as soon as they catch the ball. Boom, I'm gonna let this quarterback know who I am. Boom, I'm gonna flip him because he suck. But as you can see, we going to lose another game. He has a game off for 10 total tackles. We absolutely have no chance at a conference championship and no chance at a national championship. So going into our last game, on 4th and 2, started off kind of intense. We got a turnover downs, but oh my God, an interception from Bedi, the 11th of Avalanche. With the stats that Avalanche have, he's going to go to a big time school next year if he enters that transfer portal, but he had no stats at that last game. He absolutely leads the NCAA in 14 interceptions, the total of 76 tackles, and he tried to give Vanderbilt a chance, but he cannot give them another one. With that being said, with 2 years of eligibility, Avalanche Bedi the 11th has chose to enter the transfer portal. Avalanche Bedi the 11th finding his home and transferring to UNC, there was only one problem. He was now 3rd on the depth chart, and I was kind of confused coming from an SEC. But going into the first practice, Avalanche absolutely was dropping back into coverage, but he read it like a book and went down and got him and said, get on that ground. I'm going to get all of you and hit you and boom, as hard as I can. And he absolutely ran in his chest. I'm not going to lie, but that's all coach needed to see. He said, next week you can challenge that next string. Going into our first game against South Carolina, Avalanche Bedi the 11th has already been in a situation like this, and it was at Vanderbilt, and he absolutely earned the #1 spot, so he could do it here as well. But sitting on that bench did not feel good after coming off of 2 great seasons. He absolutely didn't like it at all. And South Carolina, they came to play. I was watching our offense struggle, but with our defense absolutely coming to play and getting stops on 4th and 2, I said I got to go out there on special teams and make special plays and special players, and I absolutely didn't do nothing at all but tried to make a block. So on kickoff, I said, let me go be a special teams player, and I absolutely hauled it down there, and I boomed him, man. That was a hit. And after that hit, man, coach gave me a shot at the field, and on 2nd and 10, I bent the edge, and that was a great seal by me, but I didn't make the tackle. But on 4th and 11, I hauled it again, and I said, I got to keep making plays, and I absolutely hit him again. I was out there like a magnet. This time, I about got pushed out of bounds. But one thing about this Bedi family, we are relentless, and he went down there and made another tackle, and I mean, coach was just fired up with all the plays that he was making, so he put him back on the field, and man, I forced a fumble and got up, was fired up with my teammate. But going into the next one on 3rd and 4, I absolutely pissed the bed. I could have made a game-changing winning hit right there and set the momentum for the team, but I just didn't. But boom, I cleaned his clock. I sure did, and made him fair catch the next time. But on kickoff, I absolutely said, I am having a day on special teams, and went down there and made another big hit. So on 1st and 10, I was absolutely reading this, and oh man, I jumped that corner route and said, I'm gonna take this all the way to the crib. With my first interception, man, I about lost it. It was like a dream come true, but coach took me out, and we got the turnover, and we go on and win the game, and Avalanche Bedi the 11th ends the game off for 6 total tackles. After a great game, coach gave me the chance to go to the position battle against M. Allen, and I absolutely dropped my interception, but he gave me a lot of points, and I absolutely hit Drake, man, threw him to the ground, and coach said, man, that was impressive. But bam, I cleaned his clock to win me the position of #2 on the depth chart. After winning the position battle and absolutely being #2 on the depth chart, I almost come away with my 2nd interception of the season, so I threw him out of bounds and almost caught a penalty, and coach would have been mad if I would have got that one. So on 1st and 10, I tried to make up for it and send a blitz blitz, and that absolutely was terrible. Being that I'm already a junior, I can't be making those simple mistakes if I want to go to the lead, but dropping another interception, I also can't drop the ball as well. In the 3rd and 19, I'm just having a terrible game. I'm getting burnt. But on 1st and 10, I try to bend the corner on that one, but that number 83 is giving me a hard game, and I'm kind of getting frustrated out there. And on 3rd and 6, I get burnt once again, and trying to meet them outside, they will go in and score. So on 4th and 3, I'm just sitting there doing nothing, but we get the turnover. We win the game. I only had 3 total tackles. Man, that was a terrible game. Going into our next week and having a bye week, it's time to show coach that I could take that number 1 spot. So absolutely sitting in my zone, I came down and tried to bam and break his ribs. I'm not gonna lie, I tried to hurt him, but absolutely not knowing what I'm doing out there, just sitting in a zone. I reacted to that play too late and made the tackle, but coming across that middle, that's another big hit. So coach said next week you could challenge that next string. On into our next game against Georgia Tech, and still being the number 2 cornerback, I didn't have a problem with it because I was still gonna go out there and play my game, but dropping balls like that, I absolutely have to go to practice and absolutely get in a lab of catching balls, and I absolutely got burnt, but I made up for it. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely was in man-to-man, and this quarterback scrambled out. My senses told me to go and bam him and clean his clock, and I absolutely did so. But on 2nd and 3, bam, I'm going to clean his clock as well for getting a 1st down. But on 3rd and 8, I absolutely stayed in man-to-man, and the quarterback threw it, but we forced the 4th down, and they kicked 3. But on 2nd and 5, sitting back in my zone, I was getting burnt all night. And just look at that catch he made on both of us. But we going to win the game, and I have to do better. I ended the game off with 5 total tackles. So somehow you may be wondering, how are you even getting to go against the number 1 cornerback after having 2 bad games back to back? I was wondering the same thing, but I said, forget it. Going out there, I'm going to compete regardless because I'm a Badookie, but absolutely getting back in coverage. We had great coverage there, and coach said you are now the number 1 cornerback on the depth chart. Going into our next game against East Carolina, I had to step it up because now I have a lot on my plate, and for some odd reason, I go ahead and blitz again, making that rookie mistake, and they driving all the way down the field, and on 1st and goal, didn't even defend the wide receiver, man. What was I doing? I was just disappointed in myself. But with my great teammates being great teammates and picking me up, we get a turnover, and that kind of fired me up. Boom! I know it did it, man. I was still just having a terrible game. But on 3rd and 20, I absolutely let him run a slant route, but I caught him and laid a big hit, but that wasn't nothing. 2 total tackles in the whole game. Are you kidding me? Going into our next game against Virginia Tech on 3rd and 6, if I don't step my game up, then my position will be gone. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely clubbed over Rip and made a big hit on his QB. But on 2nd and 4, I came down and boomed him and made sure to clean his clock and said, I'm going to have a good game this game. But on 2nd and 6, I absolutely came over and horse collared this kid. But on 1st and 10, I caught him across the middle and laid another big hit. And on 1st and goal, I'm sitting in my zone, but they absolutely dotted up in the back of the end zone. Man, that was a throw by the QB. I'll give it to him, but staying in my zone, that had nothing to do with me. And this tight end threw him off of him and said he's going to get up that field, and they will go and kick 3. It's 12 to 23, so I'm sitting in man-to-man, and I said I wanted it, so I went to go get it. And on 3rd and 3, I'm sitting in man-to-man again, and the QB threw it right to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to return it, buddy. So I had to try to bend the corner, but they absolutely horse collared me. I had a better game. 7 total tackles and 1 interception. Let's get it. On into our next game against the University of Miami. On 3rd and 10, I was absolutely here to strap this kid up all game. This was the wide receiver they talked about all week, and I said I'm going to put it into him. On 1st and 10, man, I came down and said, no, you're not catching anything on me. Either one of you receivers, boom, I'm going to make sure, man, I tried to clip his ankles, but he got off of it. But on 2nd and 9, he pitched the ball to him, and I made sure to be there on everything. I wanted to be on point on everybody, all I can this game, and I said, I'm going to bring it. And on 1st and 10, they absolutely had a read. I said, boom, he came down, and he felt me. I'm telling you he did. And on 3rd and 7, look at him. Watch this. I'm going to come down and absolutely try to take ACL, MCL out. And on 1st and 10, I'm going to catch an interception. I told you there was no fly zone coming my way. We kneel the ball, going to win the game, and I end the game off with 4 total tackles and 1 interception. On into our next game against Boston College. It was going to be the best game, bam, of my life, and I was going to make sure to leave my mark. And on 1st and 10, I came around this corner, sealed the edge, and laid a big hit on the running back. And on 1st and 10, I knew it was a motion reverse, and I came over and laid another big hit. And on 3rd and 7, I was absolutely burnt thanks to my safety. Tip drill was everything. Thank you, buddy. Now it's time to return it. I absolutely said I was going to follow his block. I went back inside, broke a tackle, but they rallied to that ball. But you thought that was it for me? On 1st and 10, I read this one right here and said, no sir, no fly zone my way. Came down and absolutely laid a big hit. But on 3rd and 9, you think I'm not gonna bam, clean your clock? You must be in for another one, buddy. But on 3rd and 13, I said this number 2 wasn't getting away from me at all. And on 2nd and 7, I said, ha ha ha, hulk the ball. I will absolutely try to turn around and return it, but they are all over it. They are not letting me escape. But on 1st and 10, I mean, that might have been the greatest read in history. I could take it all the way, and I will go for 6, and I was absolutely fired up. But on 2nd and 10, I said I could have had one more. No, I would not get it. He will step out of bounds. I go on to get player of the game with 5 total tackles and 3 interceptions. On into our next game against NC State. On 1st and 10, this QB ran the ball, and he went outside, and I don't know why, because he wasn't going anywhere. But on 2nd and 3, he bent the corner. He must not know that I'm a magnet to the ball. But on 4th and 8, oh man, I absolutely read that and caught it with one hand. Come on, baby. Avalanche Bedi 11th. You have to pull away with that. But on 1st and goal, I'm sitting here and I absolutely got routed up. He hit me with a corner outside in. I don't even know what kind of route that was, but I got burnt. I mean, I was just having a bad game to start off with. But it's 17-31. I'm sitting in my zone again, and will I get burnt? Yes, I will. But we win the game. I won the game off for 3 total tackles. On to our next game against Virginia. On 3rd and 14, I read the slant route so beautiful. I mean, I thought I was going to intercept it, but number 17 was like DK Metcalf. He was not going down. But on 1st and 10, boom, I came over and tried to throw him to the ground. And on 2nd and 14, I said I was going to be patient and try to go grab it, and I almost did. But on 3rd and 1, I had a man-to-man, and I stayed in, and the ball got thrown right to me. Juke, oh man, where is he going? But let's see that again. Juke, oh man, that was crazy. But on 1st and 10, I came down and laid that boom. But on 1st and 10, his QB rolled out, and he just wanted to feel it some more, so I gave him another one. But on 2nd and 12, I was absolutely in the middle. Boom, I'm gonna clean your clock every time. Just don't run the ball my way. But on 2nd and 6, I got a little too ahead of myself. He will absolutely burn me. And on 2nd and goal, boom, I'm just gonna lay the wood then. Either way you go, I'm gonna win. But no, we go down and lose. They kicked the game-winning field goal, and Drake May was pissed. The Avalanche Bedi 11th. This is the game off for 7 total tackles. On to our next game against Pittsburgh. On 3rd and 6, I absolutely almost had a one-hand interception to the crib, but I dropped the ball with the butterfingers that I had. But on the goal line, we stopped them and made them kick 3. But we went down and scored. But boom, I came around that corner, bent it, and absolutely laid a big hit on him. But on 2nd and 7, I'm out here getting embarrassed. I think I'm just kind of giving up because I think the game is over. But one-hand catch like that is ridiculous. That should never happen on a cornerback. But on 1st and 10, I made up for it, buddy. I absolutely caught the interception. Don't get ahead of yourself now. I made up for it. But coming down, I made another big hit. But going into the next play, we absolutely are up 42-13, so we going to win the ball game. And I end the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next one is a rainy one. But on 1st and 10, the linebackers wasn't filling the hole, so I came down and filled it down the middle. And on 3rd and 4, I was guarding this receiver, and he caught the ball. Boom! Guess what? I know you in real life, buddy. Jordan Bly, you're mine. Boom! On 2nd and 12, I had a hard flat, and I was trying to bait this tight end up. And man, when I hit him, when I say this boy was top heavy, that boy was a big boy. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely intercept this ball because all of these receivers on ODU are just trash. My coach took me out of the game. We're going to win the ball game. I end the game off of 4 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next game against Duke. You know the rivalry that we have, and we have to come out here and take the bell. But on 1st and 10, I absolutely missed the tackle, and the quarterback, they always have an Andrew Luck type of quarterback. It's just confusing. But he almost took it for 6, and man, I was kind of mad. And look at that. My coverage was terrible. And on 1st and 10, he bent that corner, and I made sure to get over there to try to make a big hit. But on 2nd and 10, they threw that ball so fast, I hit him, horse-collared him. I didn't even care. But on 2nd and 10, I said, interception, give me that. Thank you. I gave all praises to the Most High. And on 2nd and 14th, I got kind of burnt on my man-to-man. I was trying to bait him up, but the quarterback bent the corner, and I came around that corner, and boom, oh man. But on 1st and 10, thank you, another one. I intercept that ball again, juke this time. I'm trying to get back for 6 because all season I couldn't get to that box because they always rally the ball. But on 1st and 10, not being in my zone, that's the type of player I am. Boom, I want to be all around and make the plays. But on 4th and 12, he absolutely caught the ball, but I hit him so hard he dropped it. I ended the game off for 5 total tackles. Man, we prayed to be here. Going into the ACC championship, man, I started off with a sack, man, and I was turned up. And on 1st and 10, I was sitting in my zone, but I got kind of burnt. But I said, I'm going to try to go catch him and dive the wrong way. And he absolutely threw my teammate off of him, and they were on the goal line. But on 1st and goal, I'm not going to lie. I take responsibility for this first score, but I'm going to back it up. On 3rd and 11, no, I didn't. I got burnt again. I was not here to play this game. And on 1st and goal, I came in and missed the tackle again. Oh, man, I'm just not here to play today. But on 2nd and goal, with 8 seconds on the clock, clock. We had a good stop and made them kick 3, but that wasn't good enough. On 1st and 10, I came down and bammed him. It was time to change the game up. On 3rd and 10, I had put my hands up and knocked that ball out. That's no fly zone. Bam, meet that quarterback in that backfield and show him what's up. But on 4th and 20, I was sitting in my zone and came down and said, get to that ground. I'm not going to play with you. But we were now ACC champions, man, and this is a dream come true. On to our next game against Ohio State was a bowl game. We were ranked number 8, and we did not make it to that national championship, and I got dunked on. But on 3rd and 13, I came and almost tried to get a one-hand interception, but that just didn't happen. And on 3rd and 6, this wide receiver burnt me. That was absolutely burnt me, but that kind of wasn't all my fault. That wasn't my whole zone. But on 1st and 10, they got more yards after that hit, and on 1st and 10, I came back down and tried to lay another hit, but they were just getting the first downs. But on 3rd and 11, I was guarding my man, but they were dying up on the other side as well. But on 3rd and 6, I thought I had great defense, but didn't intercept the ball. I made the tackle, and on 1st and 10, I tried to blitz and then fell in the rain, and they will go on to score. I just had a horrible game. They go on and win the bowl game, and we played absolutely terrible. But one good thing, Avalanche Bedi 11th led the NCAA in interceptions with 11. But this is the end of his junior season. His senior year is going to be a movie. Tune in. After having a decent junior year last year, going into the senior year has to be top notch if I want to make it to the league. And not only was I getting burnt last year, but I was also getting ran over. So boom, I have to step that up this year. But in practice, it's like I was reading everything and coming down and hitting them as hard as I could. I was taking all my anger out on them. But coach said you're in no danger of losing that starting position. On into our first game was a game to pad the stats. Boom, against FCS East. It was time to take over and show these boys that I'm actually him. So on 1st and 10, I was in man-to-man and they didn't throw the ball. So I was trying to find a quarterback, but the D-lineman sacked him. But on 3rd and 13, look at him, threw it right to me, but my knee was down. And when I say angry, I was angry. But on 2nd and 11, I came down and didn't hit anything at all. We going to win the ball game, and I only end the game off for 2 total tackles and 1 interception. If I don't step it up, man, I won't be going anywhere close to the league. Going into our next game against ECU, after having a terrible first game, I come away with a one-hand interception to start the game off. That was the greatest catch in history. But every time I make a good play, it's like a bad play is destined to come, because he burned me. But on 1st and 10, I was sitting back in my zone and came down and laid a big hit. That was a bam right there. Oh man, I took his top off. But on 1st and 10, club over rip and make sure he gets nothing outside. But on 3rd and 13, I was in a man-to-man, and oh, this might have been the craziest catch. Toe tapper interception. And man, I was just mad I couldn't return it. But on 2nd and 4, I was coming down. I had a hard flat, and man, that wasn't the greatest hit I could have, but hey, that's a better game. 5 total tackles with 2 interceptions. On to our next game against Notre Dame. It's time to start leaving my mark in these games, and starting it off with an interception, man, I was fired up, so I tried to return it. It's time to figure out how to get to that box after catching it, because I always catch it and get tackled. And it was time that these receivers have no catches on me, and I'm absolutely clamping anything come my way. And on 3rd and 11, man, guess what? I was taking that away from him. You're not catching it on me. On 3rd and 7, I gave him too much room. He caught the ball, but I absolutely clipped him and took ACL MCL out on me. Well, coach sending me on a blitz was the worst decision ever, because they scored, coach. And on 1st and 10, I get back in my drop, and man, he caught the ball. Here I go, letting up a catch. Come on, I have to do better. And on 1st and goal, I let him outside with the score. Man, we had to get the onside kick or this game was going to be over, and we did not recover that ball. So you know what they do? They will kneel it, and we're going to lose our first game. And I end the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next game against Virginia Tech. I was in my cover 3, backing up, backpedaling, and came down and laid a big hit on this running back. And on 2nd and 7, I said I wanted to blitz, and I would go get a sack. Man, that's a special player right there, man. He is not scared to do anything that you tell him to go do. And I will catch an interception. This time I'm trying to return it, been in that corner juke, and I fumbled the darn ball. Look at this, man. I fumbled the ball, and coach was on the sideline cussing me out. But literally the next play, them getting the ball back, my teammate caught an interception, said, don't even worry about it, bro. We're going to be straight. And on 1st and 10, I was in man-to-man and came down and bammed him, man. I made sure to clean his clock. But I ended the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 interception. On to our next game against Oklahoma State. On 2nd and 2, man, my instinct something just told me to come down and make the tackle on him. He got a gain of 0 and actually a negative 3-yard reception. And me sitting in my zone again, boom, I'm not here to play with anybody. And on 2nd and 15, I'm back here strapping up, and I will intercept that ball. And this time I just get brought right down like I always do. I can never return it. But on 2nd and 10, I came across that corner, bam, made him fumble that ball. Just look how I came and made him flip and fumble that ball, man. That's athleticism. But on 1st and 10, not being in my zone, but knowing that I was going to see a slant route come across that middle, I baited it up so good, but dropped the ball. And on 1st and 10, I'm man to man, and guess what? I'm going to intercept that. Psych, almost. But we were going to win the ball game. He ends the game off
off for 3 total tackles. On to our next game against Virginia. I must have had the bubble guts or something for this game because I came in straight missed the tackle, and that was just kind of terrible to start the game off. And they will kick 3. At least we holded them from a touchdown. But on 2nd and 3, I got chop blocking. It was like they was just running the score. Boom! I finally came alive. But on 4th and 8, I almost had an interception, but I'm just out here playing like my stomach hurt. And yep, they went to go score. But on 1st and 10, boom! I came down. It's like I changed the momentum. The score went to 31-17 somehow. And on 2nd and 10, I came down and laid another big hit. We had absolutely took over and made them throw a ball up for nothing because even if you score, you're not going to win. So we go on to win the game, and he ends the game off of 4 total tackles. Going into our next game against Georgia Tech, I was trying to bait him up, and as always, I just get burnt. To start the game off, that's just terrible. Boom! I said, no, I'm going to turn it up a little bit, and on 2nd and 10, I almost intercept that ball, but on 3rd and 10, I get burnt again, but I still bring them down. With this being a low-scoring game, I came down and just made another tackle. We win the game, and I end the game off of 4 total tackles. Going into our next game against NC State, on 1st and 10, boom! I absolutely took ACL, MCL out, and that's how you make them flip. That's how you're supposed to hit someone and hurt them, but absolutely taking this interception from this dude, I just struck out like a lightning bolt. I about took it for 6. But on 2nd and 10, he had a slant route. I let him beat me, but I'm diving for that ball. I'm making sure that they don't get anything on me. But on 2nd and 10, I let it up. I failed myself. He will absolutely take it for a pretty big gain. So I said, you know what? On 3rd and goal, I'm going to come around this corner and try to make a tackle, but I fell on my face. But on 1st and 10, I came down and said, oh boy, I about took that one for 6, but I knocked the ball out. No fly zone, buddy. But on 2nd and 10, that was great defense. The quarterback couldn't even fit the ball in there. But on 3rd and 10, they run a screenplay. I come around that corner and made a big hit. But absolutely winning the game. I only had 1 tackle. Going into our next game, I had enough of getting bullied. So going against Pittsburgh, I absolutely intercept that ball on 2nd and 7. And I said, let's try to return it this time. Absolutely break a tackle, bounce it outside. And when I say they rally that ball, they come with no regrets. But on 1st and 10, I was absolutely sitting in the zone. The quarterback rolls out. Bam! I clean his clock. Make sure he cannot remember the next day. But absolutely making another hit. They will go in for 6. And on 1st and 10, he routed me up. I'm not going to lie. Great out route, but I made sure to get him before that first down. They drive down that field, and I make sure he's not getting in for 6. No, sir. On 3rd and goal, the D-line wasn't doing their job. Let the O-line work up to me, and that was just tragic. But on 3rd and 3, he keeps rolling out. Boom! Because of the great coverage, but that wasn't a boom. I just wrapped him up and threw him down. And on 1st and 10, I absolutely intercept the ball of the overthrow of the quarterback, and man, that's my 2nd interception. I'm just having a game out there. And on 2nd and 6, boom! I cleaned his clock. Absolutely. We going to win the ball game. I end the game off with 8 total tackles. To our next game against the University of Miami. Boom! It's time to leave my mark in this game here. And on 2nd and 9, they had a read option. I absolutely obliterated the QB. And on 3rd and 10, I was in the man-to-man. I should have read that and went with my instincts the first time and intercepted that ball, but it was no fly zone. He didn't catch it. But on 3rd and 6, not being in my zone at all, but on the other side, this wide receiver absolutely hit the corner. But guess what, buddy? It's a flag on the play. It's coming right back because you're a wide receiver. But on 3rd and 10, reading this like a book, I intercept that ball and I see nothing but that end zone, and I could and I would go all the way for a 6. And right there, I break Dre Bly, the legend interceptions record. Man, that was amazing right there. That was a dream come true. But I made another big hit, and on 2nd and 5, I got burnt. Oh man, they will go in and score. It's now 10-14. We have to get on our rockers, but a one-hand interception from Avalanche Bedi, the 11th man. He came alive. And on 3rd and 8, we let up a touchdown, and it's now 21-17. Boom! He thought he was gonna catch that ball, but I made sure he didn't. And boom! Let's hit the QB. And on 3rd and 7, let's get off of that field, and I get player of the game. We win the game with 10 total tackles. On to our next game against Boston College. On 3rd and 9, he had a slant route, but he got too much of a game, man. He got the first down on me. And on 3rd and 12, I was reading the wrong thing and let up a big play, man. That was just the trashiest read of DB history, and he will take that all the way for 6. And on 3rd and inches, look, I just didn't get it. I just kept getting burnt, but almost had my first interception. Then I get pancaked. It's like I'm having the worst game ever out here. But on 3rd and 5, I drop another interception, and I just can't get right. I leave my zone, came down and made a big hit, but that was probably the best play I made all game. But on 1st and 10, I came around this corner and bammed him. I made sure to clean his clock. But we win the game, and I end the game off with 5 total tackles. On to our next game against Duke. On 1st and 10, I clubbed over Rip and put my head in his chest. That's what coach said do. But they absolutely kicked
3, and that was still a lot for me. But on 3rd and 12, I intercept that ball, and I said, let's find a way to get to that end zone. I will bend that corner, but man, teammate had a clipping call, but I said, I'm not going to let it get to me. He ran the weakest comeback route, and I said, guess what, y'all? This time I'll take this one for 6, since y'all wanted to take my other interception, bend that corner, and made him dive, and I was absolutely fired up with my teammates. But on 2nd and 6, having another one, I dropped it. Oh man, that could have been 3 of them. But they absolutely go in and scoring. On 1st and 10, I came down and laid another hit, and on 1st and 10, I'm just blitzing. I don't know why, but I jumped off sides. But I get player of the game with 6 total tackles and 2 interceptions. On into the ACC Conference Championship and getting our rematch. Oh man, I get an interception the first play of the game against Clemson, man. It's time to take them down. And this time I was taking it all the way for 6. And man, I was fired up. I was just celebrating down in that end zone. And on 1st and 10, bam, make sure to hit the quarterback as hard as I can. But I just have this problem with jumping off sides because I just get so anxious of wanting to go hit somebody. But getting them back in that backfield, I make another big play. And man, I was fired up the whole game. It's 17-7. Bam, coming across that middle. I'm making sure to make my pads clap. But absolutely almost having another interception. I dropped the ball, but they will finally go down and score. It's 14-20. I have a hard flat, but bam, Will Shipley, I'm going to clean your clock every time, buddy. But absolutely missing this wide receiver. He goes in to score. And on 1st and 10, I had another hard flat, and bam, I'm laying the wood. I know he has a headache. He's going to be hurting tomorrow, but not in my zone. I'll let up a crazy catch, but guess what? I will win the game-winning interception. It's just like the Seahawks and those Patriots, but I go ahead and break the interception record with the last interception of the season to go win us that ACC Conference Championship, and man, we did it once again. But we had some great news. Avalanche Bedi 11 will be declaring for that NFL draft, but drop in the comments down below if you really think he's going to get drafted.